Good work. Joe Biscary. Kate Ellis. No. Chris Hugh. Sheila Trotter. Moise Georges. Catherine Dearmin. Lauren Murphy. Did I miss your name?
Yeah, I might have not heard it. Kate Ellis. Thanks.
All of you got back your papers? You didn't, right? I called your name, I guess. Fedesa Scott, right? Okay. Any question regarding the marking? Can I take it after the class? Because we have a lot of things to do.
Really quick question.
Yes.
Out of all these quizzes, we still get to do 10 out of 13, right? Or all of these count?
10 out of 13. So the lowest 3 will be dropped.
The lowest year will be dropping. I thought I said 10 out of 30. Yeah, that's what I thought. No, 10 out of 30.
Okay. 2 important announcements. First thing is, you have your exam regarding your exam on Thursday. It's 1.5 hours, 8:30 to 10 p.m. in the night.
But like, do you know how many questions or like?
Questions regarding the exam?
Yeah, like how many questions are going to be on?
Yeah, I guess I have to check that out. I think 30. I'm not very sure. I have to check that out. I'm not very sure. Okay, this is your testing location. And the second important thing is that you have this in this location. You have a teaching center review. You have it tomorrow. Tomorrow you go to the Matherly Hall, to the first floor, and you will be seated in respective rooms. And you'll have a 2-hour session, review session, over whole of Unit 1. Okay?
Is it okay if like we only stay for like half of it or something? Like, it doesn't matter how long we stay for, like, or does it?
I guess you can just stay as long as you want. Okay. It's up to you. Okay? What is I square? -1, so I get negative of 3 root 3. And I cube? What is I cube? Yeah. So you can cancel these two, and I get 1/8 of 9i minus I. So that gives me 8i. I can cancel 8 and 8, so I get I. All of you follow that? Yes.
How did you get from the last step?
Here to here? Here to there? Okay. I wrote down something, a plus b whole cube. Do you remember this formula?
Yeah.
So what is this? It's a cube plus 3a square b.
Doesn't matter because we're still sitting around, and then that's, I have it 3a squared.
Yeah, you can just, yeah, that's fine. So you just do a cube. What is a cube? It's root 3 whole cube, right? A is root 3 and you have b to be I. So I've just wrote down the formula there. Okay? Okay, so you have, someone said the fourth problem, right? How many of you tried the fourth problem?
I didn't. Oh.
You want me to do the fourth problem? Can you raise your hands? How many want the fourth problem to be done? And how many? Third problem?
No, not third.
Fourth problem? I'm talking about the fourth. Okay, let's do it. So what would be our next step? Yes. What's the formula? Yes. Excuse me. Can you just talk later? Let's just do it first, okay? We'll do the third problem. Don't worry. Okay. So what's the next step?
X minus 1
Then
times x squared plus x plus 1.
so what's one obvious solution?
X equals 1.
A grid. What about the second one? All of you following this? So what do you get out of here? So you use the formula minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac by 2a. Okay. Negative b plus minus root over, what is b square? B square is 1. You have minus 4. What is a and what is c? A is 1, c is 1, so you get 4. And what is twice a? 2, because a is 1. So I get plus minus I root 3. Everybody followed that? You can just break it out and write minus half plus minus I root 3 by 2, but this is as good as it. Okay, let's do the third problem. Okay. Now, one thing what I can see here is you have x square out here, and 16 you can write as 4 square, right? So that gives you something of this sort. But you know that you can't factorize this, right? I want to write something like this. So if I can write this as a perfect square, I can utilize the formula a square minus b square. Okay? So what would be, tell me a number whose square is minus 16. Complex number? 4i. Agreed? All of you? So what will the next step? Is that clear to you? Okay. Okay, so let's move on to the 8th worksheet. First question. Any doubts regarding the first question in the 8th worksheet? Yes? No? No? Perfectly all right? Okay. Second question. If you have any doubt regarding the second question, just raise your hands, okay, as I call the numbers. So I'll assume that second question is fine with all of you. Yes? No?
Yeah.
Okay. Be louder, come on. Yes, you have doubts? Okay. Okay, let's see what are the major doubts in this worksheet first. Third question. How many wants to be walked out? Okay, let's do the third problem. Okay, so what's the most obvious next step? Or rather, next step?
Let u,
Yes? What do you want to do?
let u equal x to the 2.
Right? So what would be the equation in terms of u?
4x squared.
For x square?
4u squared.
U
4u
squared.
squared minus 12u plus 9. Why do you put it in terms of u again?
Yes, I'll tell you why I put it. See, if I do this substitution, it's easier that I look at this as 4x squared. I get this equation, and this is easier to handle rather than this. So what is this? This is nothing but 2u minus 3 whole square. Okay? So what's the value of u I get here? 3 halves. Okay. So from here I need to find out the value of x. Don't leave the problem here. So I have x to the power 2/3 is equal to 3 by 2. So what I do is I'll just cube it first. That would give me x squared is equal to 27 by 8. Everybody following that? So what do I get out of x? What is x? From here?
Square root of 27 over square root of 8.
That's wrong.
You can't leave a square root on the bottom.
Square root of
You're partially correct.
Well, no, I'm just giving the next step. I'm not solving.
What is x? Yeah, I want you to solve it.
Oh, well, that's going to take a little time.
Straight. That's okay. I mean, like, I don't want you to break out 27 by 8. What's the square root? You did some other mistake. It's plus minus.
Right.
You said just square root, right? So it's positive and the negative square root. I mean, if you just do this, you'll be losing a point.
Oh, you would have to solve it? I was going to solve it, like 9 and 3 and...
Yeah, but you have to mention the plus minus.
We can
Oh,
Okay.
I do that when I take it out.
Okay.
That's not my, like, that's, I have to stop.
Okay. Everybody followed that?
That's not the final product, though. That's not the answer.
Yeah, I know. What do you want to do?
Or no, now you gotta multiply by 2 root 2 on
2 root 2 or just root 2?
Root 2.
root 2.
Yeah.
Kidding.
So I get 2. Okay, wait. Let's do it here. But if you leave it here, that will be as good as it. Get the full points. Okay? Fifth problem. How many of you did the fifth problem? Value x plus 4. Okay? What can you say about this number x plus 4? Either it's positive, or it's negative, or it's 0. Right? Do you have any other options? No. What I did was, I took two options here. Either it's greater than 0 or equal to 0. Why I did is, the idea behind is this. Because if I take the equality here, I can write absolute value of x as x. In fact, if you just do it a greater than 0 there and less than equal to 0 here, it would be as good as it. Okay? Everybody follow that? Okay. So what about the equation? What would be absolute value of x plus 4? In this case?
Negative x plus 4.
Yeah. Everybody clear with that? So the equation becomes negative of x plus 4 is equal to x squared plus 4x.
Can you do x plus 4 is equal to negative x squared plus 4x? Is that the same thing or not?
Not exactly. Because, yes, if you do this way, if you break out into the cases and then do it, then it's fine. Okay? But if you start up early, you might get extra solutions which might not be the actual solutions. We'll work this out and see what happens. Okay? So what did you get here? Get x squared plus 4x plus x that gives and that, what are the solutions for this? Right? So you get x equals to -1 and -4. Now, these are the solutions that you get out of solving this. Now look at this condition. Do they satisfy this condition? No. So actually those of them are not the solution. You said you got -1, right? This is the reason why it's not a solution. Is that clear? Okay, let's move on to the 9th worksheet. First question. Doubts, or is it clear? Clear to all of you? How many of you could do it?
I don't know.
Can you just do that one just to be sure? Because I feel better about that.
Anybody else has a doubt other than you two? What about the others?
I don't like doing D.
You want just T? Okay.
Or you can do all of it.
Okay, we'll do all of it.
We're doing one.
Yeah, we'll do one.
Perfect, yeah.
Okay, this is your first equation. So what can you say about this quantity? No, it's saying that it's negative, but what do you know about this quantity? Absolute value is always non-negative, right?
Yeah.
So do you think this makes sense?
No.
Think it again.
Yeah, because it can be
Oh,
zero.
yeah.
It makes sense because it can be 0. See, if you put here x is equal to, what do you get here?
Negative 4 plus 1.
So you get 3x equals to negative 4. So that means 3x plus 4 equals 0. So if you take an absolute value of this, you get 0. So you do have a solution, right? So that's false. Okay. So the next statement. This can never have a solution because absolute value is always non-negative. And this says that it's strictly negative. Everybody with me?
No, wait, can you say that again? Sorry, I was writing something down.
Okay. What can you say about this absolute value of 3x plus 4?
That's not true because we can't.
Absolute values are always non-negative, right? Greater or equal to 0. But it says less than 0. So it can never have a solution.
Okay.
What do you think of this? What about this equation? Make sense?
Yeah.
True? Can you give me a solution? I want a value of x such that this quantity is greater than negative 7.
Negative 11 over 3.
Yeah. Can't like anything be greater than negative?
Simplest thing, 0. Put a 0 out there, x. You get 4. That is obviously greater than negative of 7. Following that? So that was pretty trivial. So that statement is false. Last one. Okay, let's do it here. Okay. So what would be the next step? How do you go about it? First thing, can x be equal to 1? No. That's your first observation. Okay? So what next? This quantity is a non-negative quantity. In fact, a non-positive quantity because x is not equal to 1. Exactly. I can just can I multiply them out? No. Okay, what did you say? Can you just repeat it?
Well, can't, since the bottom is non-negative, then
Mhm.
you can just solve it as x minus 1 is greater than or equal to.
You mean this? Yeah. So what do you get out of that? Do you get the solutions out they say that? Okay. So you have this is absolute value is greater than or equal to 0. That's always true, right? So only value it cannot take is this value, because this becomes 0. Okay? But this thing is true for all x by the definition of absolute value itself. Okay? So all values of x other than 1 are true for this equation. Okay? So that's a true. Okay. Second problem. Anybody did the problem?
Could you set 4x plus 3 is greater or equal to 1? Because it has to be positive.
You can't say greater or equal to 1. First thing to observe is x is not equal to minus 3 by 4. That should be your first observation. Whenever you are solving an equation, make sure to find out the values of x for which it becomes 0, because in that case x cannot take those values. Okay? In case it's a reciprocal. How many of you could solve the second problem? Okay, let's first do the third problem. If you get time, we'll get back to the second problem. Third problem. How many of you could do it? Anybody? You did it? Okay. Okay, time's up. Come on. Yeah.
Let's get a question now. So
Just a second.
What's the section?
Huh?
What's the section?
3070. Just a minute.
okay.
Give your paper.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna ask you what our section
This is today's question paper, right? Say 3070.
number
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. 3070.
Oh yeah, we were going a while.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure there's gotta be more busy in mine too, but I
Thank you. Yes.
I can't listen to the teacher's lectures on my computer.
You can't? What's your operating system? Windows? You can log on to the web CD.
Yeah, I can get there.
You can
and
get to the link, right?
It'll show me the video, but it has no audio.
It might require some plugins, software plugins. You can check them out. Some software plugins, if they require them, you need to install them. Okay? Yes.
Hey, can I see a quiz?
Yes. Last quiz, right? Your name?
Rosas, Joseph Rosas.
Okay. You did well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Okay,
Is it regarding Math Excel?
yes.
Can we go out and do it? Because
I did
there.
a quiz online. I made like 70% and 80% and 80%. On the middle of those three quizzes, when I made an 80%, one of the problems said 20 divided by 3, and that's what I answered. See, that's what the correct answer was, but my answer was the same thing.
Uh-huh.
And it still counted it wrong because,
Oh, regarding the slash?
yeah.
See, I'm not sure if we can do anything about that. What you do is when you go through a sample problem, okay, you check out the formatting and use the same format. Instead of using this bar, horizontal bars, you can just using the slash, okay?
Yeah, I figured that out over the while, but
You go through the solve problem, whatever the signs they use those, okay?
okay. So when those just use
Because these are like some technical glitches which we really can't do anything about it.
I was just wondering if you did.
Yeah. Mhm.